Well, this show probably isn't for you, to be honest with you, because there's something in being prepared. There's something in having a plan. There's something in being able to give your athlete an opportunity. That doesn't mean you're overdoing it. How we doing, everybody? Welcoming you to the first episode of the Chris Randle Show. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. No, seriously, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And honestly, this is just one conversation closer to our goals. This is what I like to think about it as. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a coach, an athlete, entrepreneur, we're all chasing something and we're all growing it together. So this is a space where we can talk about the growth, talk about the grit it takes, and the grace we need to accomplish the things we wanted to. The reason why behind this Chris Randall show is just because since I was could remember, I've always had a coach in my life. I was raised by a single mother. She did her very, very best. And I love her to death for everything she put for me. But I needed that help from the village and the tribe that our community gave me, whether it was a ride to practice, whether it was one of the coaches helping me learn and understand, getting me to certain tournaments, whether it was someone teaching me things that ultimately, you need to hear from someone who's either accomplished those things, been there before, and it just gives you a certain perspective. And that's been my experience since I could remember. And it allowed me to accomplish a lot that I was able to during my playing days. And it helps me even more so now that I've retired and, I'm raising my family and working and have a career. So that shapes my views, being mentored early and always having a coach. Just as far as my playing career, I was able to get a scholarship after high school and play at Utah State University for football, where I learned and grew a lot. Actually met my wife at Utah State. So Utah State, go Aggies, that's always true blue. Gave me the opportunity. The first place I actually thought about what life is going to have for me. Like, I didn't really think about college and all those aspirations, but Utah State sparked a lot of interest in what I saw happening for myself, and that's where the dream of the NFL came about. I was my junior to senior year. I was the incoming starter, and we had got new coaches in Gary Andersen, and then a defensive backs coach in Corey Raymond. Corey Raymond, if I can tell you, if there's one piece to this puzzle that kind of triggered for my playing career, it would be the Corey Raymond Gary Andersen connection there, where Coach Gary Andersen came into Utah State wanting to set a culture and a tone, and I was all about his leadership and because he respected me and what I was able to bring to the table. And he just wanted to keep growing the program through people that were here and the people that he's bringing. So I always felt utmost respect for Coach Gary Andersen, who just got into the Hall of Fame at Utah State, actually. And then Coach Corey Raymond came about, and he just had the experience of being there already. He came from the SEC at LSU. He played at LSU before. He coached there for a multitude of years, had some of the best defensive backs that come out of there before coming to Utah State. So I'm talking about Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, Tre'Davious Wright, Jamal Adams, like the list goes on of DBU at LSU and the technique that they play with. So Coach Raymond for 2 years was not necessarily in a good spot to continue at LSU, and he came to Utah State. And for those 2 years, my junior, senior year, the preparation of the game, the film study of the game, the technique of the game, the attitude of what it takes to be in that position. And I learned. I learned how it would be able to grow my game into being the player that I am today. So Coach Raymond, shout out to him. And I took a lot of those things going into my professional career where I had a short stint with the Dallas Cowboys, and I had to learn a lot when you go to the NFL and that speed is different and the understanding and the demands are different. You learn. And for me, it was something that helped propel my game even more. And with that, I wasn't able to have a long career in the NFL, but then that catapulted my career in the Canadian Football League, where I spent 8 seasons and retired in 2020. That's kind of my professional career in a sense, and the Canadian football really shapes how I am actively as a man and person and football expert in a sense. in today's society because that's where I have most of my experience from. I was able to be coached by some of the great minds in football, not just Canadian football. Mike O'Shea, who's a Grey Cup winner as a player and coach and just a great leader. Rick Campbell, who has a family history as far as his dad understanding the game, being a champion, and Rick also being a champion. It's in their lineage. And then John Hufnagel, who won Super Bowls in the NFL and also won Grey Cups in the CFL. So the understanding of coaches that I've learned from and kind of modeled my system and program after of is there's no way you can put that all together without having gone and achieved some amount of success individually and being in those opportunities to be coached by those people. That helped shape where I am today as far as my football mind and how I can help these athletes pursue some of their things that they're trying to accomplish. My purpose for having this podcast is for the parents out there. I know it can be overwhelming at times with schedules and nutrition and strength and conditioning, speed and agility, position work, coaching dynamics, athletes, teams, school districts, like recruiting showcases. There's a lot of things and information for you guys to unpack as you go through this process. And it doesn't make you over the top parent because you're on top of how to get your athletes their best opportunity. Actually, I'm the complete opposite. And if you're the complete opposite of an athlete where you want to just let them figure it out, let them go on their own, they're too young. Well, this show probably isn't for you, to be honest with you, because there's something in being prepared. There's something in having a plan. There's something in being able to give your athlete an opportunity. That doesn't mean you're overdoing it. And for those who just think you're going to get there off pure luck and not get those reps, I think the evolution of the athlete has grown a lot, and rarely is there an off season for any sport. That's just the nature of the game at this point if you're raising an athlete. So I get the hurdles because I am a parent as well. And for coaches, I know some of the coaches out there have great experience, but communicating what you've learned versus to these athletes so they can comprehend it is one other thing. Knowing how to play the position and doing it and teaching, there are two different aspects. So I'm here to help bridge that gap. I'm also understanding like there's nuances to football based on age groups that poses different threats and questions and challenges. So trying to be able to be the best you can be in helping these athletes get where they want to go. I'm here to support in every way. And then it comes from athletes. I've been in your shoes in those pressure moments, what to think, how to handle them when you are preparing your routine, your film study, your recovery, your nutrition. I've been in those positions, so I'm able to speak to your athlete from that experience and be able to guide you guys. So that's the purpose of this whole show. What you can expect to get from me is some speed and performance tips, some mindsets for player and coaches alike, just to make sure you guys are sharp and prepared in the battlefield when it comes down to it. You got to the person with the best routine will win. That's something I've learned over the years, and you are what you repeatedly do. It's all about building strategies and giving you insight of what's going on and what's trending. I'll be helping being in a community. I will also have interviews and different perspectives to help you guys to shape and formulate a good plan for yourself as a coach, parent, athlete, or entrepreneur. This just isn't a podcast. This is a movement. I want to make sure we're all here and we got a place to build and grow together. This is what this is all about. If you guys can subscribe and share with someone who needs this, that would be fantastic. And if you can DM me or email me your biggest challenge, whether you're a parent, athlete, entrepreneur, and I can build an episode around those ideas. Again, this is all a movement, and I want to be able to share what I've known with people who can help get answers if I don't have them, or be able to share just insights on a topic that we can all grow from. Again, this is Chris Randle. Thank you for tuning in, and let's build something bigger than ourselves. Talk to you guys soon.